Coming up on Ag Week TV, farm groups unite to get action on the broken cattle market. It's a welcome expansion to insurance coverage for specialty crops like buckwheat. It was the GridIron Battle of the Burgers here at the Sioux Falls Storm Hall of Fame game. And we take you to a row crop farm that's transitioned to a retail meat center and food truck business. Welcome to Ag Week TV. I'm Michelle Rook. Major farm groups are calling for action to address the broken cattle market. They're coming off a historical meeting in Phoenix where they unified to ask Congress, the Justice Department, and USDA to fix the inequity of packers making record high profits on the back of strong box beef prices while feeders lose money. The group identified issues with packer concentration, price transparency and discovery, Packers and Stockyards Act enforcement, the level of captive supply, and packer capacity. They want renewal of mandatory livestock price reporting with formula-based prices added, creation of a contract library, an investigation report from DOJ, and expansion of smaller packers. This week, farm state lawmakers also demanded DOJ finalize their 18-month investigation on packer market manipulation, plus hold hearings in Congress. This comes on the heels of reintroduction of the 5014 bill, which mandates a minimum of 50% of weekly slaughter come from negotiated cash cattle. However, producers say the action may be too little, too late. A year after the COVID meltdown, the cattle industry struggles to find a solution to their broken market.
The whole industry right now is embroiled in the unbalanced leverage that the people who buy finished cattle wield over the independent cattle feeders in this country.
Producers say it's a result of anti-competitive practices and manipulation by the meatpacking industry.
Packer concentration is terrible. Packer margins is way too high. Again, we thought it was bad a year ago in the middle of COVID, and now it's even worse. The packing industry is literally robbing the consumers and the producers.
I'm so frustrated with a packer making $900 to $1,000 and we can't squeeze $50 out of these fat cattle. I feel it's almost a legal robbery.
Producers also say they have no leverage in the cash market with inadequate processing capacity, the packers' use of captive supplies, and high corn prices.
As long as we keep taking them cattle every day, trailer load after trailer load, they don't have to bid up.
That's why many support mandating the amount of negotiated cash packers have to buy weekly.
I think that would help. Price discovery and negotiated trade would help the situation. And I don't know how you regulate packer margins. I really don't know how you would do that.
They say another DOJ investigation is a waste of time, and the Packers and Stockyards Act is not being enforced.
It never has been, and I don't know if there's any hope that would be enforced, but or put some teeth into it, because right now it just seems like the packers are avoiding it.
And without intervention, they fear more producers will exit the cattle business and it will become vertically integrated, just like pork and poultry. U.S. red meat exports ended first quarter on a high note, with beef and pork sales for March both setting value records. Pork exports alone hit $795 million, but also set a new volume record at nearly 295,000 metric tons. That's despite China's sales being down year over year. It's tied to record sales to the Philippines and several South American countries. Plus, Dean Meyer with USMEF says they've seen strong growth in Japan and Mexico despite COVID.
The key to that is their online e-marketing was so far advanced coming into this that they were able to just transform to that and continue to move our red meat products into their markets.
Beef exports topped $800 million for the first time in March, fueled by solid growth in South Korea and a surge in exports to China. Beef demand also rebounded significantly in many Latin American markets. For the first quarter, beef exports pulled even with last year's volume and value at $2.12 billion. Trade officials met this week for the first U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement Free Trade Commission and discussed implementation issues with USMCA. Mexico is rejecting U.S. glyphosate imports, plus they've put a hold on biotech approvals. The U.S. is also upset with Canada's dairy tariff rate quota system, and nearly 70 dairy companies and associations are urging the U.S. Trade Representative to initiate a dispute settlement case. The nation's largest ethanol producer, Poet, is in talks to purchase all ethanol assets from Flint Hills Resources, the nation's 5th largest producer. Flint Hills owns 6 ethanol plants, with 5 in Iowa and 1 in Nebraska, totaling 800 million gallons of production capacity. The company also owns oil refineries with nearly 700,000 barrels of daily production. Poet owns 27 plants in 7 states, including Iowa, Minnesota, and South Dakota, with a production capacity of 2 billion gallons. The Kansas City Southern Railway Board of Directors has ended its merger agreement with Canadian Pacific. They have instead accepted an offer to buy Canadian National. CP and Kansas City Southern made a deal in March for $29 billion. That was followed by an offer of nearly $34 billion from Canadian National.
Coming up on AgweekTV, I'll take you to a row crop farm that's transitioned to a retail meat center and food truck business.
Superior Grain Equipment is committed to quality and service. Protect your bottom line and your future with superior quality, protection, and reliability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running, no matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire, we keep the tough going.
Dig, lay, and bury drain tile all in one pass with the Crary Tile Pro Plow. The Crary Tile Pro Plow lays tile up to 7 feet deep with boot sizes of 4 to 12 inches. Advantages of installing drain tile to your field provides increased overall yield, improved soil moisture levels, and controls soil erosion. It pays to tile with a Crary Tile Pro. To locate a dealer near you, visit www.crarytilepro.com.
At Trans Systems, every day is a great day to haul beets. Our family-owned business moves more beets than anyone in the world. We enjoy good work and good pay, and many of us have been here for decades because it's a place where our opinions are heard and our accomplishments are seen. We're your home every day and can take summers off. Here, our safety and yours matter most. Trans Systems, a sweet haul in the Red River Valley since 1983.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you. From top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
We're going to talk today about a revolutionary auto steer product that you guys have developed.
We back one of these things in, it'll drain a 40-acre patch just within hours.
What can you tell us about what dairy farmers do to make sure that their animals are happy?
Their care is our primary concern.
Is there still time for producers to get storage bins up?
Absolutely. We still can definitely get something up and ready for corn harvest.
Growers of a small but important specialty crop got some good news recently. Buckwheat will now be eligible for crop insurance in more counties in our region. Michael Pates has more in this week's Ag Week cover story.
Mindak Growers Limited of Grand Forks is the nation's top buckwheat miller and a major mustard processor. The company contracts farmers to grow both crops. It handles 15 million pounds of buckwheat and 10 million pounds of mustard a year.
Squeezable mustard condiments for table and meat packaging, and our buckwheat is used into the bakeries.
Mindak co-owner and Vice President Jeremy Peterson says that they could use double the buckwheat acres, but a lack of insurance had been holding farmers back from planting more.
We'd like to have another 10,000 acres for this year's growing because the market is excellent for buckwheat right now.
Buckwheat is gluten-free, so it's been growing in popularity over the past decade. It can be ground into flour and used in baked goods or cereal products, although it's not really a wheat.
Buckwheat is actually a fruit. It is a part of the rhubarb family.
Now Peterson has some good news that should attract more buckwheat growers. USDA's Risk Management Agency has added the crop into more counties in the region, making it easier to get insurance.
We'd like to have more counties in Minnesota also. We are seeing big interest down by the Alexandria area, southern Minnesota. Even in Iowa, we're seeing interest.
Buckwheat's treated us pretty well out here.
Marvin Hotzenbuehler has grown buckwheat at his Mann, North Dakota farm and the Area 4 Research Farm for 25 years. He's had good luck with it overall, but now his county has been added for insurance, so he hopes that attracts more growers.
That looks promising for the producers. You'd like to be insured a little bit for your crops. I mean, I think it's a pretty good cash crop.
Peterson says buckwheat is drought resistant, so it might be a good crop for this year. The crop insurance deadline is June 15. In Grand Forks, this is Mikkel Pates for Ag Week.
You can read more in the next Ag Week magazine or at agweek.com. Dry conditions around the region are prompting some growers to try new conservation methods. The Goditis family farm in northeast North Dakota raises sugar beets and other crops and has been short on moisture the last 2 years. Jay Goditis says one of the things they've been doing to conserve moisture is reduce tillage. So last spring they invested in a vertical strip tillage machine. He says they're extremely happy with the results as far as retaining moisture, creating a seed bed and fertilization.
So we're pretty excited about it. It's looking good, and we think that we're on to something that is going to catch on real quickly.
The machine they chose is called the Soil Warrior, made in Faribault, Minnesota. Although it costs more than $400,000, he says it's already paying off. A west central Minnesota farm is taking a new direction in an effort to beef up their operation. Katie Pinky has more.
Ditterich Family Farm started in the late 1930s. In 2006, Dwayne and Jennifer Ditterich returned, leaving his USDA job to start farming in 2007.
None of my aunts and uncles farm, and as a matter of fact, I'm the only cousin who farms, probably out of 100 people.
In 2013, row crop prices were declining and the Ditterich Family Farm transitioned to beef with only 4 head.
We raise about 100 and some head a year of feeder cattle and finish them out to fats. And then we have about 40 cows, and we're mostly become a hay and cattle farm. We kind of went away from row crops.
The Ditteriches say while the beef cattle started out as kind of a hobby, it has taken their operation in a new direction. They started expanding their herd, and in 2017 they opened a small store on the farm, selling their own beef directly to consumers. Although Jennifer was hesitant at first, she's all in now.
He makes good decisions, and you haven't hit a clinker yet, so I told him to go for it. And yeah, it really took off. It turned into something bigger than we expected.
In the summer, the Ditteriches run a food truck selling their beef products, and soon they will be supplying the nearby Blackboard restaurant.
I always think the more times that you can utilize what you have of your own, the more times you use it, the better opportunity you have to tell your story, and then, to help keep the farm successful.
Dwayne and Jennifer Ditterich have some advice for farmers considering diversification on their farm.
Find a way to sell directly to your consumer. So that you have more control over the prices that you receive for your products, and it helps you develop a relationship with them too, and it's much more satisfying.
Near Vergas, Minnesota, this is Katie Pinky for Ag Week.
Join us next week when we take you to the Blackboard restaurant. Ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll see why things are buzzing in this Minnesota town. And later, we'll see who wins the GridIron Burger Battle.
The planter service technicians at Titan Machinery have the training, experience, and genuine Case IH parts and service to get the most out of your planters. From pre-season tune-ups to precision planting upgrades and major overhauls, the knowledgeable professionals at Titan Machinery will maximize your planting productivity. And before storing your equipment after the season, contact your Titan Machinery dealer about post-season uptime planter specials and genuine Case IH parts and service. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH and precision planting specialists.
Steffes Group, selling land and the equipment to farm it since 1960. If you're interested in selling or have questions about our auction process, head to our website at steffesgroup.com to contact us at any one of our 4 locations located throughout the Midwest. You can also visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel to view all of our auction previews and recaps to stay up to date on the market in your area.
The future of your farm depends on storage, and no one does storage solutions better than Gateway Building Systems. Gateway Building Systems is the #1 Brock Bin dealer in the U.S., is locally owned and provides turnkey convenience with factory direct product, complete design services, and in-house construction. Gateway Building Systems will provide you with Brock solid bins, grain dryers, millwright services, lags, towers, and conveyors. Take advantage of discounts on our Brock solid bins. For more information, go online to gatewaybuilding.com.
Now is the best time to lock in pricing and secure your future farm equipment needs with the Summers Manufacturing Advance Order Programs. Confirm your order by May 31st for fall delivery, or confirm your order by June 30th for next spring. All Summers equipment qualifies, including our new Super Coulter Samurai, the innovative VRT Renegade, and the best build land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more.
Go beyond the headlines with an Ag Week membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to Ag Week and AgweekTV.
The northern part of our region got some much needed moisture this week. Will there be any follow-up? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
Weather pattern this spring in terms of the dryness, the drought has been shaken up a bit the last week or so by this rainy period that has brought some significant showers and thunderstorms into some parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. Note, we haven't really broken the drought yet. We've just gotten a little reprieve. There still are some areas very much wanting for rain. Cooler weather is settling in as we work into the last part of May, the first part of June. By cooler, I mean more not as warm, not cold like what we had back in the early part of May. And there still are signs that before the summer is over, we'll have gone through a longer period of hot weather. So let's keep that in the back of our minds as we look at the pattern right now. Jet stream pattern right now, we have really two major splits. We have the northern branch, the more Arctic part of the jet, and then the main branch of the jet stream, which is quite meandering right now. And as we go through this first week of the forecast period, milder, cooler weather is settled into the northern plains. When I don't color in at all the hatches, that means sort of like picture high temperatures mostly in the 60s, maybe around 70, maybe the 50s. So it's that kind of coolish air mass that we have in the northern plains right now. 70s and 80s in the orange section covering most of the Midwest. And then we've got a couple of areas, three really, of hot weather this week. Southeastern states really getting their first round of consistent 90-ish weather. Central and South Texas, and of course the Southwest is really heating up. There are signs it will get very warm in the Southwest toward the end of this week as a ridge of high pressure begins to build up. We'll probably warm up a little bit into the northern plains and Midwest, but I don't see it getting terribly warm. Not a lot of 80s, maybe a few spots scraping at 70. As we move toward the second week of this period, northern branch of the jet remains up where it is, and there will be a bit of ridging along the eastern seaboard. It looks like a storm system moving out through the southern plains. That'll bring some rain-cooled air where it rains, and there will be a chance for some substantial rain with that weather system. And as we go into the first week of June, northern plains, upper Midwest weather generally fairly mild, not so terribly hot, not terribly cool. This first week, May 23rd to 29th, the heaviest weather will be down in the lower southern part of the Midwest and the Mid-South. Think in terms of Oklahoma City, Dallas, up through Arkansas, Missouri, and right along the Ohio River Valley. Looks pretty wet with repeat storms, some of them severe. Showers and thunder showers, though, will continue with the rain chances back into the northern plains and the Great Lakes. Most of the west coast will be fairly dry. The last week of this forecast period, May 30th to June 5th, will continue at least a chance for thunder showers in the northern plains, but the most steady and heavy and persistent rains will be further south. Rainy period, not necessarily a drought buster. Cooler weather, but not as warm. I still think most of the summer will be warmer than average.
They say when the going gets tough, the tough get going. At OK Tire, we're here to keep you going. From Firestone tires and replacements to retreads and even Firestone tracks, we have you covered. Our certified Firestone experts are ready to get you back up and running. No matter if you're on site or in the field, saving you time and money. OK Tire. We keep the tough going.
We have products that no other companies have. That gives us a bit of an advantage and a bit of an edge, and it provides some security to our customer base that we've been here, we're here to stay, and we want to still provide these new innovations to the customers today. It's cold granulated products where we're putting together multiple nutrients. We've got products in our Micro Essentials lineup that contain sulfur and zinc, and we also have products on our potash side which contain boron, which is a newer product for us, which is called Aspire.
Growing up as a kid, Gateway was always the grain bin building and the grain handling people that were out in our area. One of the reasons we chose to go with Gateway was they're the leader in the industry and they are the #1 Brock dealer in the United States. We've really liked the Brock design and some of the designs that Gateway has come up with throughout the years. My best advice would be to just put your trust in them and let them come up with the design that's going to fit your needs.
Challenges. We all face them at some time. But it seems that ag has seen its fair share over the past few years. Has your farming operation been able to stand the challenges? If not, maybe it's time to talk to the risk management specialist at Martinson Ag. We can help you make the sound decisions to help your operation weather the storm. Martinson Ag, your one-stop shop for crop insurance, livestock insurance, and marketing. We are here to take your operation to the next level.
Ag Week brings you timely agriculture news from field to fork in digital, print, and television. Fresh every week, join me, Mike Speaker, from the Ag Week editorial team for a deeper dive into farm and ranch stories with personalities from the world of agriculture. If you are involved in farming, ranching, or agribusiness, the Ag Week podcast is the show for you.
A small Minnesota town was buzzing one recent Saturday. Mann Lake Limited's annual Bee Day attracted a steady stream of customers like bees to honey. Emily Beal was there and has more.
We've got hundreds of people coming in to pick up thousands of packages of bees that they will take home later today and install in their hives.
Bee Day is a big day at Mann Lake Limited in Hackensack, Minnesota. The business is a one-stop shop for anything beekeepers need, and once a year, they come to buy bees by the pound. The bees are grown in California, bagged, and then rushed to Minnesota.
So a package is 3 pounds of worker bees and then 1 mated queen. So figure somewhere in that 10, 11, 12,000 bees, it makes up about 3 pounds.
The pandemic fueled an increase in backyard gardening, which also spurred an interest in home hives. But beekeeping isn't new to Bruce Dahl. His dad was a commercial beekeeper, so Bruce has worked with bees for more than 50 years. He's happy to see the renewed interest in bees.
People are very interested in bees, and it's fun for us to share that with our family and friends.
Steve Olson also started helping Bruce's dad as a teenager, and is still at it with his friend, although strictly as a hobby now.
We've got at present about 5 hives, and we have a barrel set up where we heat the honey and we jar it, we filter it, all within just a day or two.
By the time Bee Day winds down, 2,000 packages of bees will be on their way to new hives. In Hackensack, Minnesota, this is Emily Beal with Ag Week.
Mann Lake also sells everything needed for poultry. A father-daughter team from southeast Minnesota has started growing and selling microgreens and baked goods, in part because of the daughter's celiac disease. Patrick Spindler and his daughter Natasha run Spindler Goods and Greens, which they sell at the Rochester Farmers Market. They sell 4 varieties of microgreens grown in their basement, plus Natasha sells gluten-free baked goods, which she started to satisfy her own sweet tooth.
Carrots aren't cookies. They're good, but they're not cookies. So I was like, I've been baking gluten-free for 7 years? So I was like, yeah. And we just started a business out of it.
The Spindlers say they started growing and selling greens in part because farmers market vendors must also be growers. As part of May Beef Month, the South Dakota Beef Industry Council held their GridIron burger battle at last weekend's Sioux Falls Storm Hall of Fame game. It featured local celebrities, including coaches from area universities that are using the Build Your Base with Beef program, battling it out on the grill.
I want a juicy burger. I want to be able to produce something that just lets the beef speak for itself.
The judges had a tough job, but say no matter what ingredients are used, a good burger needs to be cooked properly.
Well, personally, I want a medium hamburger, not medium rare. You need to cook your beef to 160. Too dry of a hamburger is not good.
The winners made their version of a poor man's Hawaiian burger featuring their secret ingredient.
A soy Asian dumpling sauce, and it worked really well with the ingredients that we received to use.
It starts with a great product, and then looking at accentuating that beef, not overdoing it too much, and finding a nice internal temp to let that meat rest.
Still ahead, Kristen Clark has some sweet ideas for starting off your summer mornings.
At North Star Ag, we're more than your short-line machinery dealer. We're also full service, and we're farmers first. That means we know it's not about what's best, but what's best for your farm. Whether you're planting, growing, or harvesting, we're there for all your equipment, parts, and service needs. And we've been doing it since 2009, with the largest inventory and availability in the area. Check us out at northstar-ag.com or call us at 701-361-4790.
Now is the best time to lock in pricing and secure your future farm equipment needs with the Summers Manufacturing Advance Order Programs. Confirm your order by May 31st for fall delivery, or confirm your order by June 30th for next spring. All Summers equipment qualifies, including our new Super Coulter Samurai, the innovative VRT Renegade, and the best built land rollers in the industry. Talk to your Summers dealer today or go to summersmfg.com to learn more.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Hi, neighbor! Oh, I know you didn't ask me to, but I grabbed your mail for you while you were out of town. This one was marked urgent, so I opened it for you. It's your bank statement. Are all those charges right? I highlighted the bottom of page 3 where you can sign up for e-statements.
This isn't my mail.
E-statements with Cornerstone Bank. Keep nosy neighbors at bay by switching today.
For Ag Week, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Food and swine blogger Kristen Clark has a great idea for a sweet summer breakfast. In her latest column for Ag Week magazine, the Iowa farmer shares some of her favorite pancake recipes, like citrus cream cheese pancakes. She says they're inspired by a trip to Sarah Beth's Bakery in New York and her famous lemon ricotta pancakes. Kristen has also posted a video on agweek.com. Thanks for watching this week's edition of Ag Week TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have yourself a great and safe week.